First contact. The crimson sky of Earth's sunset painted an ominous backdrop as Zara's small research vessel plummeted through the atmosphere. Alarms blared, warning of multiple system failures. The Centaurian scientist gripped her controls, her 4 arms working furiously to stabilize the craft. "Insufferable primitive planet," Zara muttered, her large eyes narrowing as she fought against the unfamiliar gravity. Her people, the Centaurians, had long viewed Earth as a backwater world, barely worth studying. Now, as her ship hurtled towards its surface, Zara cursed the curiosity that had brought her here. With a bone-jarring impact, the vessel slammed into a dense forest. Trees splintered and metal screeched as the ship carved a deep furrow into the earth. When it finally came to rest, silence descended, broken only by the hiss of ruptured coolant lines. Zara hung limply in her harness, dazed but alive. As her senses returned, panic set in. She was stranded on a hostile world, surrounded by a species her people considered little more than animals. Forcing down her fear, she began assessing the damage. The ship's long-range communications were offline. Without them, she had no way to call for rescue. Worse, her cloaking device was damaged. Any primitive scanning technology the humans possessed would likely detect her presence. Zara knew she had to act fast. Gathering essential supplies and her precious research data, Zara prepared to abandon the ship. She hesitated at the airlock, her respiratory filters working overtime to process Earth's alien atmosphere. With a deep breath, she stepped out into the forest. The riot of organic life assaulted her senses. Thick, humid air clung to her pale blue skin. Insects buzzed and birds called in a cacophony that made her flinch. Zara's people had long ago tamed their world, eliminating such chaotic ecosystems. This uncontrolled nature felt wrong, dangerous. As Zara moved cautiously through the underbrush, a new sound reached her ears, a low, rhythmic thrum that grew steadily louder. Her heart raced as she recognized it from her research, the sound of human aircraft. Crouching behind a fallen log, Zara watched as a small, angular vehicle descended into a nearby clearing. Its rotors kicked up a maelstrom of leaves and debris. When they slowed, a figure emerged, a human. Zara studied the creature intently. It was smaller than she'd expected, with only 2 arms and legs. Its skin was a warm brown, and dark hair framed a face dominated by forward-facing eyes. Those eyes scanned the forest warily as the human unslung some kind of weapon. "This is Air Rescue 1, the human called out, its voice deeper than Zara had anticipated. "We detected an anomalous crash in this area. Is anyone there?" Zara remained motionless, hardly daring to breathe. Her mind raced. How had they detected her so quickly? Their technology must be more advanced than she'd been led to believe. The human moved closer, pushing through the foliage. "Hello, anyone hurt out here?" In her haste to avoid detection, Zara's foot slipped on the mossy log. She tumbled forward with a startled cry, landing in a heap at the human's feet. Time seemed to freeze as their eyes met. Zara saw shock, fear, and fascination dance across the human's features. She imagined her own expression mirrored those emotions. "Holy shit," the human breathed, lowering its weapons slightly. You're not from around here, are you?" Zara's translator implant processed the crude language. She considered fleeing but knew she stood little chance in this alien environment. Slowly, she rose to her full height, towering over the human. "I am Zara, xenobiologist of the Centauri Academy," she said, her voice trembling despite her efforts to project calm. "My vessel was damaged. I mean you no harm." The human's eyes widened further. "You speak English?" "I'm Alex Chen, search and rescue pilot." A hesitant smile crossed Alex's face. "And I guess today my job description just got a whole lot more interesting." Zara's tendrils twitched in confusion. This wasn't how first contact scenarios were supposed to unfold. Where was the panic, the aggression her superiors had warned her about? "Your people, you are not afraid?" Zara asked cautiously. Alex chuckled, a sound that made Zara flinch. "Oh, I'm terrified, but also incredibly excited. We've wondered for so long if we were alone in the universe. And now, well," a human gestured at Zara. "Here you are." A distant rumble drew both their attentions skyward. Zara's heart sank as she recognized the sound of approaching Centauri engines. "No, no, no," she muttered. "Friends of yours?" Alex asked, noticing her distress. Zara shook her head vehemently. "The opposite. My presence here was unauthorized. If they find me, find evidence of contact with your species." She trailed off, unable to voice the consequences. Understanding dawned in Alex's eyes. Without hesitation, the human grabbed Zara's lower right hand. "Come on. My chopper has a sealed medevac pod. It might mask your life signs long enough to get you somewhere safe." Zara recoiled at the touch, but allowed herself to be led towards the aircraft. "Why would you help me? Our peoples are strangers, and I am a trespasser on your world." Alex helped her into the pod, movements urgent but gentle. "Because it's the right thing to do, and because I became a pilot to explore, to push boundaries. Meeting you, this is the ultimate frontier." As the pod sealed around her, Zara felt a peculiar warmth in her chest. She had come to Earth expecting savages. Instead, she'd have found compassion, curiosity, and courage. Perhaps, she realized as the aircraft lifted off, there was more to learn about humans than she had ever imagined. The Centauri ship streaked overhead, searchlights probing the forest below. But Zara, nestled in a cocoon of human ingenuity, slipped away undetected. Her journey and her education was only beginning. Quantum bonds. The thunderous roar of Alex's chopper sliced through the night sky, a metallic dragonfly darting between neon-lit skyscrapers. Inside the sealed medevac pod, Zara's tendrils twitched nervously. The alien scientist had never imagined she'd be smuggled through a human megalopolis, her very existence a secret that could reshape two civilizations. "Hang tight, Blue," Alex's voice crackled through the pod's comm system. "We're heading to a place off the grid. Ever heard of a black site?" "No." "Well, you're about to get a crash course in human conspiracy theories." As they flew, Zara's multifaceted eyes drank in the urban sprawl below. Holographic billboards flickered with advertisements for neural implants and designer jeans. Maglev trains snaked between buildings like luminous serpents. It was a far cry from the primitive world she'd expected. "Your technology," Zara murmured, her translator struggling with the awe in her voice. "It's so vibrant." Alex chuckled. "Wait till you see our memes. But first, we need to ditch your Centauri pals. And I've got just the trick." The chopper banked hard, diving towards an abandoned subway station. As they descended, Alex flipped a series of switches. The aircraft shimmered, its outline blurring. "Experimental cloaking tech," Alex explained. "Quantum camouflage. Your folks aren't the only ones with a few secrets." They touched down in a cavernous underground chamber. As the rotors spun down, figures emerged from the shadows. Humans in sleek, matte black armor, their faces obscured by polarized visors. "Easy, folks," Alex called out, popping the chopper's hatch. "I've got a VIP package here. Code Stardust." The armored figures stiffened, then snapped to attention. A tall woman stepped forward, her helmet retracting to reveal a face etched with scars and wisdom. "Chen," she nodded. "When you said you had a breakthrough, I assumed you meant a new coffee blend. Not this." She gestured at the pod containing Zara. Alex grinned. "What can I say, Colonel Hawthorne? I aim to impress. Meet Zara, xenobiologist extraordinaire, and our new alien bestie." As the pod hissed open, Zara emerged cautiously. The humans tensed, hands hovering near weapons. But Colonel Hawthorne raised a hand, halting any rash actions. "Welcome to Earth, Zara," Hawthorne said, her voice level. "I apologize for the cloak and dagger routine, but I'm sure you understand the need for discretion." Zara's tendrils waved in a gesture of agreement. Your caution is logical. My presence here is unauthorized. If my superiors knew. Oh, I think they know. A new voice cut in. A lanky man with wild hair and wilder eyes pushed through the group. The question is, what are they going to do about it? Dr. Osaka, Hawthorne sighed. I thought I told you to wait in the lab. The scientist ignored her, circling Zara with undisguised fascination. Remarkable. Tetrachromatic vision, I'd wager. And those tendrils, neural interfaces, the possibilities are staggering. Zara recoiled, overwhelmed by the human's intensity. Alex stepped between them, a protective hand on Zara's shoulder. Easy, Doc. She's not here for your prodding. We need to figure out how to keep her safe and deal with the Centauri ships up there. Dr. Osaka's eyes lit up. Oh, but that's where you're wrong, pilot. Our blue friend here is the key to everything. He spun, gesturing wildly. Don't you see? This isn't just first contact. It's a chance to leapfrog our tech by centuries. Hawthorne frowned. Explain. The scientist pulled up a holographic display, filling the air with swirling equations and schematics. Zara's ship. The energy readings we detected. They're off the charts. I'm talking zero-point energy manipulation, quantum entanglement on a macro scale. With that tech, we could revolutionize everything: energy, transportation, communication. Zara's hearts raced. The human was dangerously close to secrets her people guarded zealously. You don't understand, she interjected. That knowledge in the wrong hands could reshape the galaxy, Osaka finished. Exactly. Imagine it, humanity, stepping onto the cosmic stage. No more huddling on our little blue marble. We could be out there, exploring, colonizing. Making new enemies, Hawthorne cut in sharply. Need I remind you of the heavily armed Centauri ships currently in orbit? A tense silence fell over the group. Alex looked between Zara and the humans, conflict clear on his face. There's got to be a middle ground here, he said finally. A way to protect Zara, advance our science, and avoid an interstellar incident. Zara's tendrils curled thoughtfully. She had come to study humans as simple subjects. Now, she found herself torn between duty to her people and a growing admiration for these resourceful, passionate beings. Perhaps, she said slowly, there is a way, but it will require trust, on both sides. Hawthorne raised an eyebrow. We're listening. Zara took a deep breath. What you must understand is that my people's technology is deeply integrated with our biology. Our ships, our tools, they're extensions of ourselves. Dr. Osaka is correct about the potential, but simply reverse engineering my craft won't work. The key is here. She tapped her head with one of her 4 hands. Neural interface, Osaka breathed. Of course. More than that, Zara continued. A quantum entanglement between pilot and ship. It's how we navigate the stars, how we manipulate energy fields beyond your current understanding. Alex's eyes widened. So when you crashed? I was disconnected, Zara nodded. Adrift. But if we could establish a new link, integrate your technology with mine. She trailed off, the implications hanging in the air. Hawthorne's scarred face creased in a frown. You're talking about merging alien and human tech. The risks are outweighed by the potential rewards, Osaka interrupted. Colonel, this could be our quantum leap. A true singularity event. It's not without danger, Zara cautioned. The process would forge a bond beyond anything your species has experienced. We would be linked, our minds, our very essences intertwined. A heavy silence fell over the group. The weight of the decision pressed down on them all. It was Alex who finally broke the tension, stepping forward with a determined set to his jaw. I'll do it, he said firmly. I brought Zara into this. I'll see it through. Zara's tendrils quivered with a mix of anxiety and something else, a warmth she was only beginning to understand. Alex, you don't know what you're offering. The strain could be too much for a human mind. The pilot grinned, that same reckless courage that had first drawn Zara to him shining in his eyes. Then it's a good thing I've got the best alien brainiac in the galaxy to guide me through it. Hawthorne looked between them, her expression unreadable. Finally, she nodded. All right, but we do this carefully under controlled conditions. Osaka, prep your lab. I want every safeguard in place. As the humans bustled into action, Zara found herself alone with Alex for a moment. Why? She asked softly. Why take this risk for me, for a species you barely know? Alex's smile softened. Because that's what humans do, Zara. We reach for the stars even when it scares us. And right now, you're the brightest star I've ever seen. Zara felt a curious flutter in her chest, a sensation entirely new to her species. As they made their way deeper into the secret facility, she realized that her mission had transformed into something far greater than she could have imagined. She had come to study humanity. Now, she might be the key to humanity's next great leap. And with Alex by her side, Zara found herself strangely eager to take that leap together. Cosmic convergence. The subterranean lab hummed with an electric tension, a fusion of cutting-edge human technology and alien mystery. Zara stood at the center of a dizzying array of holographic displays, her four arms moving in graceful synchronization as she interfaced with the hybrid systems. Nearby, Alex reclined in a chair that looked more like a cocoon of swirling light, neural filaments snaking from its surface to connect with his temples. Quantum entanglement protocols at 87% alignment, Dr. Osaka announced, his fingers dancing across floating keyboards. Psychic dampers holding steady. Are you ready for neural handshake, Pilot Chen? Alex flashed a thumbs up, his easy grin belying the gravity of the moment. Born ready, Doc. Let's make some history. Colonel Hawthorne's voice crackled over the intercom. Remember, we're on a clock here. Those Centauri ships are getting bolder with their scans. If we're going to pull this off, it needs to happen now. Zara's tendrils quivered with a mix of anticipation and fear. Alex, are you certain? Once we begin, there's no turning back. Our minds, our very essence, will be irrevocably linked. The human pilot locked eyes with her, his gaze unwavering. Zara, in the short time I've known you, you've already changed my entire universe. What's one more cosmic shift between friends? Before Zara could respond, Dr. Osaka initiated the sequence. The lab erupted in a cacophony of light and sound. Streams of data flowed between Zara and Alex, bridging the gap between alien and human consciousness. For a moment, there was chaos. A whirlwind of memories, emotions, and sensations too vast for any single mind to comprehend. Zara felt herself drowning in the flood of human experiences, the taste of ice cream on a summer day, the thrill of a first kiss, the ache of lost love. Simultaneously, Alex's mind expanded to encompass the vast cosmic awareness of the Centauri, touching the very fabric of space-time itself. And then suddenly, clarity. Zara gasped, her multiple hearts beating in perfect synchronization with Alex's single human heart. She could feel him there, a warm presence in the back of her mind, his thoughts intertwining with hers like strands of cosmic DNA. Holy, quantum shift. Alex breathed, his eyes wide with wonder. Is this how you see the universe, Zara? Through their shared consciousness, Zara showed him. The intricate dance of subatomic particles, the subtle currents of dark matter flowing between galaxies, the very pulse of the cosmos itself. And in return, she felt the uniquely human perspective flood her awareness, the burning curiosity, the unquenchable thirst for exploration, the capacity for hope in the face of overwhelming odds. Incredible, Dr. Osaka muttered, monitoring their vital signs. The synaptic convergence is off the charts. We're seeing brain activity in regions we didn't even know existed. Colonel Hawthorne leaned in, her scarred face tight with concern. That's fascinating, Doctor, but can they control it? Can they interface with the alien tech? As if in response, the lab's systems surged with new energy. Holographic displays flickered and reformed, now showing a real-time overlay of Earth's orbit. The Centauri ships were clearly visible, their energy signatures pulsing ominously. "We can see them," Zara and Alex spoke in unison, their voices harmonizing in an otherworldly chorus. "We can feel them." With a thought, they reached out through the quantum link. The Centauri vessels shuddered, their cloaking fields fluctuating wildly. "By Einstein's mustache," Osaka breathed. "They're interfacing directly with the alien ship's systems." Hawthorne's eyes narrowed. "Can you disable them? Force them to retreat?" Zara/Alex shook their head, the gesture unsettlingly fluid. "No, that would reveal too much. But we can misdirect them." Their shared consciousness expanded further, touching the edges of Earth's atmosphere. With delicate precision, they began to weave a tapestry of false sensor readings and phantom energy signatures. To the Centauri ships, it would appear as if their quarry had fled the system entirely. "It's working," Hawthorne reported, watching the tactical displays. "They're altering course, preparing for faster-than-light jump." As the alien vessels vanished into the depths of space, Zara and Alex slowly disentangled their minds. The process was like waking from the most vivid dream imaginable, reality reasserting itself one sensation at a time. When it was done, they stared at each other in awe, forever changed by the experience. "That was," Alex began, striving to find words. "Beyond description," Zara finished, her tendrils waving in agreement. Dr. Osaka was practically bouncing with excitement. "The implications of this are staggering. The scientific applications alone." "We'll have to wait," Hawthorne cut in firmly. "Right now, our priority is understanding what just happened and ensuring there are no unforeseen consequences." As the humans bustled around them, running tests and debating next steps, Zara and Alex remained still, lost in the echoes of their shared consciousness. "I saw your world," Alex said softly. "Your people. I felt your love for science, your passion for discovery. But I also felt your fear, the weight of expectations, the pressure to conform." Zara nodded, her large eyes shimmering with emotion. "And I experienced your heart, Alex. The depth of human feeling, the capacity for both great darkness and blinding light. Your species contains multitudes." "So where do we go from here?" Alex asked, gently taking one of Zara's hands in his own. "We've literally touched the stars together. How do we just go back to normal after that?" Zara's tendrils curled thoughtfully. "Perhaps we don't. Perhaps this is the beginning of something entirely new. A bridge between our peoples, built on understanding and shared experience." Before Alex could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. Hawthorne rushed to a console, her face grim. "We've got incoming," she announced. "And it's not the Centauri this time. Multiple bodies entering the atmosphere, configurations unlike anything we've seen before." Dr. Osaka's eyes widened as he studied the readings. "These energy signatures, they're not just alien, they're impossible. It's as if they're facing in and out of our reality." Zara and Alex exchanged a look, a flicker of their shared consciousness passing between them. They spoke in unison, their voices tinged with equal parts wonder and apprehension. "The convergence. They're here." As the new arrivals descended from the heavens, humanity stood on the precipice of its greatest challenge and its greatest opportunity. The line between alien and human had been irrevocably blurred, and in that blurring lay the key to facing whatever came next. Zara squeezed Alex's hand, feeling the echo of his determination resonating through their lingering mental link. Whatever these new entities wanted, whatever cosmic game was unfolding, they would face it together, no longer as separate species, but as pioneers of a new hybrid future. The convergence had begun, and the universe itself held its breath to see what would emerge on the other side. Quantum Nexus Awakening. The sky above New Terra City erupted in a kaleidoscope of impossibility. Massive structures phased into existence, their geometries defying human comprehension. They weren't ships in any conventional sense, but rather fragments of alternate realities bleeding into our own. By the cosmic web, Zara breathed, her tendrils twisting in awe. The convergence, it's not just an event, it's an entire civilization. Alex nodded, his mind still intertwined with Zara's on a subatomic level. I can feel them, like whispers at the edge of consciousness. They're curious? No, that's not quite right. They're hungry. Dr. Osaka's fingers flew across holographic interfaces, his eyes wild with excitement. The readings are off the charts. These entities are manipulating quantum fields we didn't even know existed. It's like they're rewriting the laws of physics in real time. Colonel Hawthorne's face was grim as she surveyed the tactical displays. That's fascinating, Doctor. But how do we defend against something that can alter reality itself? As if in response, a beam of coruscating energy lanced down from one of the ethereal structures. It struck the heart of New Terra City, but instead of destruction, it created change. Buildings twisted and reshaped, their materials transmuting into exotic substances. Citizens caught in the beam's path found their bodies altering, limbs multiplying or merging with the transformed environment. It's not an attack. Zara and Alex spoke in unison, their shared consciousness allowing them to perceive the true nature of the event. It's assimilation. The convergence is trying to merge our reality with their own. Hawthorne's jaw clenched. Hostile or not, we can't let them reshape our world without consent. Options, people. Dr. Osaka's eyes lit up. The quantum link. If Zara and Alex could interface with Centauri tech, maybe they can communicate with these beings, find a way to halt the transformation. It's too dangerous, Hawthorne protested. We barely understand the effects of their first melding. Connecting to these, reality warpers could fry their brains. Alex stepped forward, his hand instinctively finding Zara's. With all due respect, Colonel, we don't have a choice. Zara and I are the only ones with even a chance of bridging this gap. We have to try. Zara nodded, her large eyes filled with determination. Our minds have already touched the cosmic. Perhaps that was preparation for this very moment. Before Hawthorne could object further, the air around them began to shimmer. Reality itself seemed to flex and warp, responding to the mere possibility of communication. In that instant, Zara and Alex made their choice. Their minds reached out, no longer constrained by the physical interfaces of the lab. The quantum entanglement that lingered between them expanded, encompassing the very fabric of spacetime. For a moment, they were everywhere and everywhen, their consciousness stretched across the multiverse. And then, contact. The convergence was not a single entity, but a collective consciousness of unimaginable complexity. Beings from 1,000 realities, each having transcended the limitations of their original forms. They existed in a state of perpetual quantum superposition, simultaneously inhabiting all possible versions of themselves. Communication was not through words or even thoughts, but through the exchange of entire paradigms. In an instant, Zara and Alex understood the convergence's purpose: to unite all realities, to create a singular, perfect existence where all possibilities coexisted in harmony. But with that understanding came a profound realization. The convergence, in its quest for unity, had lost sight of the value of diversity. The very uniqueness they sought to preserve was being erased in their cosmic melding. Through their hybrid consciousness, Zara and Alex showed the convergence the beauty of imperfection, the strength found in overcoming differences rather than erasing them. They shared the entirety of their own journey, alien and human, learning to bridge the gap between their species not by becoming the same, but by embracing their distinctions. The convergence paused, ripples of contemplation spreading across realities. For the first time in eons, they encountered a perspective they had not considered. In that moment of cosmic hesitation, Zara and Alex seized their chance. Drawing upon the deep well of human ingenuity and Centauri cosmic manipulation, they began to weave a new possibility. a quantum framework that would allow communication and exchange between realities without forced assimilation. The Nexus Protocol was born. Reality shuddered as the new paradigm took hold. The transformations across New Terra City halted, then slowly began to reverse. The ethereal structures of the convergence shifted, no longer imposing change, but offering gateways, stable points of contact between dimensions. As Zara and Alex's consciousness returned to their bodies, they found the lab in a state of controlled chaos. Dr. Osaka was babbling excitedly about new forms of energy and the rewriting of quantum physics textbooks. Colonel Hawthorne barked orders, coordinating a global response to the aftermath of the convergence's arrival. But for Zara and Alex, the universe would never be the same. Their minds, already linked, had touched the infinite. They had become living bridges not just between their species, but between all possible realities. "Well," Alex said with a shaky laugh, running a hand through his sweat-soaked hair, "I guess first contact is officially out of our hands now." Zara's tendrils waved in amusement. "Indeed, though I suspect our adventure is far from over. The Nexus Protocol will need guardians, interpreters to help both humanity and my people navigate this new cosmic landscape." As if on cue, one of the shimmering gateways left behind by the convergence flared to life. Through it stepped a being of pure energy, its form constantly shifting between humanoid and something utterly alien. "Greetings, architects of the Nexus," it spoke, its voice resonating on multiple levels of reality. "The convergence has tasted of your wisdom and finds it intoxicating. We would learn more of this diversity you value so highly." Alex and Zara exchanged a glance, 1,000 unspoken words passing between them through their quantum bond. With a shared nod, they stepped forward to greet the emissary of a new cosmic age. The quantum nexus had awakened, and with it, the next chapter in the story of life itself was about to unfold. Cosmic Codex unveiled. The quantum nexus thrummed with otherworldly energy, a shimmering web of interdimensional pathways stretching across the globe. New Terra City had become the epicenter of a revolution that defied the very laws of reality. At its heart stood the unlikely duo of Zara and Alex, their minds forever entwined by forces beyond human comprehension. Incoming transmission from Nexus Point Epsilon called out a technician, her fingers dancing across a holographic interface that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Alex nodded, his eyes glowing with a faint blue light, a side effect of his ongoing quantum bond with Zara. "Patch it through to the main codex chamber." The cavernous room they stood in was a marvel of hybrid technology. Centauri crystal matrices pulsed in harmony with human quantum processors, creating a three-dimensional map of the multiverse that constantly shifted and realigned itself. Zara's tendrils waved in anticipation as the transmission materialized. A being of pure light and mathematical equations hovered before them, its form twisting through impossible geometries. "Greetings, Nexus Guardians," the entity spoke, its voice a harmonious blend of 1,000 different tones. "We bring tidings from the fringe realms. The entropy cascade has begun to accelerate." Alex's brow furrowed, a flicker of concern passing between him and Zara through their mental link. "How bad is it?" The light being pulsed, projecting a series of complex fractal patterns into the air. Entire realities are collapsing at an exponential rate. The convergence's attempts to stabilize the affected areas have proven insufficient. Zara stepped forward, her forearms moving in perfect synchronization as she manipulated the projected data. The Nexus Protocol was designed to prevent this very scenario. How could it be failing? Before the entity could respond, alarms blared throughout the chamber. Dr. Osaka burst in, his wild hair even more disheveled than usual. "We've got a problem. The Cosmic Codex is evolving." All eyes turned to the center of the room, where a swirling vortex of energy contained what appeared to be an ancient book. But this was no ordinary tome. The Cosmic Codex was a living repository of multiversal knowledge, a relic discovered in the wake of the convergence's arrival. As they watched, the codex pages began to turn on their own, new text and symbols appearing and disappearing in a dizzying display. By Einstein's mustache, Osaka breathed. It's rewriting itself in real time. Zara and Alex exchanged a look, their shared consciousness allowing them to perceive patterns invisible to others. Without a word, they approached the codex, their hands, human and alien, reaching out in perfect unison. The moment they touched the book, reality itself seemed to hold its breath. A surge of cosmic awareness flooded their minds, expanding their consciousness to encompass the entire multiverse. In that moment of infinite perception, they understood. The entropy cascade wasn't a natural phenomenon. It was a weapon. Oh no, Zara and Alex spoke as one, their voices resonating with newfound power. The Voidborn have returned. The light being flickered anxiously. The Voidborn, but they're just a myth, a boogeyman story told to scare young realities. Alex shook his head, his eyes now blazing with multiversal fire. They're real and they're angry. The Convergence's efforts to unite realities threatened the Voidborn's feeding grounds. They exist in the spaces between universes, consuming the energy released when realities collapse. And now they're accelerating that collapse, Zara continued, her tendrils writhing with agitation. The entropy cascade is their way of creating an all-you-can-eat buffet. Dr. Osaka's fingers flew across his datapad. If this is true, the entire multiverse could be at risk. We're talking about the end of, well, everything. The cosmic codex pulsed, its pages turning faster now. Symbols and equations beyond human or centauri understanding flashed across its surface. No, Alex said firmly, his hands still touching the book. Not the end. A chance for a new beginning. Zara nodded, understanding flowing between them. The codex isn't just recording these events, it's offering a solution, a way to rewrite the fundamental laws of the multiverse itself. You can't be serious, the light being flickered incredulously. The risks of altering cosmic constants are less than the certainty of total annihilation if we do nothing, Zara cut in. Alex's face set in determination. We didn't ask for this responsibility, but the codex chose us for a reason. We're the bridge between worlds, between ways of thinking. If anyone has a chance of pulling this off, it's us. Dr. Osaka stepped forward, his eyes shining with a mix of fear and excitement. What do you need from us? Zara and Alex spoke in unison, their voices carrying the weight of universes. Gather every species, every consciousness from across the nexus. We're going to crowdsource the rewriting of reality itself. What followed was a montage of cosmic proportions. Beings from a million realities poured their knowledge and creativity into the nexus. Hybrid think tanks of humans, centauri, and entities beyond description worked tirelessly to decipher the codex instructions. At the center of it all stood Zara and Alex, their minds expanded to serve as a living conduit between the cosmic codex and the collective consciousness of the multiverse. Days blurred into weeks as they teetered on the edge of an interdimensional precipice. The Voidborn pressed in from all sides, reality itself groaning under the strain of their assault. And then, in a moment of perfect cosmic synchronicity, it happened. Zara and Alex, their bodies now pulsing with the same otherworldly light as the codex, spoke a single word. A word that contained within it the totality of existence and the promise of infinite potential. Rebirth. The multiverse exploded in a kaleidoscope of creation. Dying realities were reborn, their fundamental laws rewritten to be resistant to entropy. The spaces between universes, once hunting grounds for the Voidborn, became cradles of new existence. As the cosmic storm subsided, Zara and Alex found themselves back in the codex chamber, surrounded by cheering humans, centauri, and beings from across reality. The cosmic codex, its purpose fulfilled, slowly faded from existence, but its knowledge, its power, now lived on in every sentient being across the multiverse. So, Alex said with a weary smile, turning to Zara, "What do we do for an encore?" Zara's tendrils waved in amusement. My dear Alex, we've only just turned the first page. The real story is about to begin. As if in response, a new shimmering portal opened in the chamber. Through it, they could see vistas of unimaginable wonder, new realities born from the cosmic rewrite, waiting to be explored. Hand in hand, human and alien, Zara and Alex stepped forward into a universe reborn. The quantum nexus hummed with renewed purpose, a beacon of infinite possibility in a cosmos where the only constant was change itself. Their journey, and that of all sentient life, had only just begun.